Sorry, Mr. Cyclist, but boost comes first. It definitely does, and a little bit of traction loss wheel spin. Sorry. Right, what's up, guys? So today you join me from the driver's seat of a 1999 Seat Ibiza Cupra. Now, eagle-eyed viewers that have watched many of my videos will know that I actually used to own one of these. I used to own a blue one when I was about 21, and I loved it. I loved the car, although I had many a problem because I kept on whacking the boost up on it. Boost hoses coming off, you know, all that good stuff that the 1.8 turbos do when you do start upping the boost on them. But mine was only running about 200 brake at the time. It hadn't had a lot done to it, only an exhaust system and a couple of breather mods and a remap. This one itself is running 264 brake horsepower, which is a world away from the car I used to own. I tell you, I am ecstatic to drive this car, to get the feel of what that sort of power is like in this sort of chassis. This is actually running the JOMs off eBay, which I used to have on my Mark 5 Golf, so I know exactly what they're sort of like. Good for the money, don't get me wrong, but they can be stiff at times with, you know, not a lot of dampening. This one itself though, the clutch feels really good, the brakes are spot on, the track when you come around a corner is pretty direct. When you just give it a little bit like that, fucking hell. Now this one is actually mapped and tuned by AMD, so they've got the Stage 2 remap on this one, a full Millet exhaust system with a decap. It's got a KO3S Turbo with a ported KO3 Manuifold. It's got a Jabba Sport front mount intercooler, sat pride of place at the front, very big one as well, which looks fucking awesome. Cut into the bumper very well on this car. Interior wise, now I like the interior in these. I think it's cool, the seats are nice. You know, they've got a little bit of bolster support, but not too much. But the one thing I never got about these Seats was the fact that you couldn't replace, or not that I know of, in the comment section, let me know if I'm wrong. I never knew why you couldn't put an aftermarket stereo in it. You couldn't take this centerpiece out because it did everything. It did the heating, it did all the controls for the radio and stuff, so that's definitely something to know. So usually, and in this one, and in my old one, the owner of the car, or you know, the modifier of the car, would put a aftermarket stereo down here, so it's between your sort of legs as you're driving along. Now obviously if you've got short legs like me, you will definitely notice that you keep on twatting your leg on it all the time. But if you've got long legs like the owner of this car, you wouldn't have any problems at all. But that's just something to note, because it's definitely something that I found out while owning my one, and it did my bloody head in, if I'm quite honest. All in all though, although this has been modified, it's on, you know, a nice set of wheels. The XXR 17-inch look very good on this car. Nice spoked action with a bit of concave on there. But it sounds the nuts though. Really like the pops and bangs as it comes down the rev. Fucking hell. Yeah, when it fucking hell. Yeah, when it definitely starts going like second gear, then you had to control the front a little bit more than I was expecting. You definitely have to have both hands on the steering wheel, because although there isn't much initial torque steer, I think as it goes up in the rev, there's definitely torques that you have to fight, which is a great thing in front wheel drive. I like the fight between torque steer. It's actually quite exciting in my opinion, because you're putting the power down, there's a little bit of wheel spin, there's a little bit of, you know, traction lost in the process if you're getting, you know, the power down to the car and down into the ground. I think that's an awesome experience. It's an experience that everyone should go through. It's got a great turn in this car as well. You've got a good weighted feel through the steering as someone pulls straight out in front of you, and there's a cyclist there as well. Very good. Sorry, Mr. Cyclist, but boost comes first. It definitely does, and a little bit of traction loss wheel spin. Sorry. So as we come down a nice bit of stretch of road, we'll roll on the boost in second gear again. I will leave both hands on the steering wheel this time. Fucking hell! This thing's rapid as fuck! Oh wow! See, this is a hot hatch. I love these little cars. The power is unreal on this one. It doesn't stop. When you sort of roll in on it, in second gear say, you're initially, you know, put back in your seat by the first bit of power, the first bit of boost that comes in, but then after that, it just grows stronger and stronger. It's not like a, you know, sort of flat boost where I'm used to, you know, from my Cupra. It was a very, you know, straight bit of boost. It was never feeling more powerful as it went through the rev. But this one, when it, you know, sort of gets to 3, 4, and then you go to 4.5, 5, it's like upper level. So you really, really feel it. It's insane. So as you sort of roll on, there, fucking hell. Just between sort of 4 and, you know, 6, 6.5 being the red line, it is a fucking animal, I tell you. Absolutely ridiculous. So guys, here we are. Nice little summer's evening. It's very hot today though. So let's have a look around this Seat Ibiza Cupra. Now, firstly, I actually had one of these, you know, I've already said in this video, but mine was blue, and I really like the blue, but I do quite like the silver on this. The blue didn't really show up the fact that, you know, it's sort of, you know, bulged out arches here, if the GoPro can actually pick it up, sort of going around the car, sort of shows up a bit better on the silver than the initial blue that I had. You got this big side skirt down here, which is good. It sort of shows that it's a Cupra by that sort of side skirt, and obviously you've got the Cupra front end on the front. Sort of a what looks like an aftermarket splitter, but it's a standard for the, you know, meshed grille, obviously with the Cupra logo. These also have, if I remember correctly, black headlights instead of silver ones that the, you know, standard ones do. And they also have, which to be honest I've never really got, is smaller, bigger, smaller, bigger. So you have the smaller passenger side and the bigger driver's side, which I can understand, it's all good, but proportionally I've never understood it. But it still looks cool. I do like it. I still think it looks proper cool. Coming around the side, you've got the JOM Coilovers sat quite nicely. Coming down to the wheels, you've got a set of XXRs, 17-inch by what I think is 7.5-inch wide wheels. Nice spoke though on them with a little bit of concave. You've got vented discs up front. Nice little upgrade, because obviously if you're going for power, you want to make sure your brakes are still very good. Coming around the back, the Cupras have, you know, the bigger spoiler as well, sort of show it's a Cupra. You've got this bottom valance, I suppose you would call it, on these, and obviously you've got your Millet full stainless steel exhaust system, sports cat back box with a decat. Jumping inside, and you're met with this pretty funky interior. You've got, you know, the seats that say Cupra on them going all the way over the interior. You've got the half leather with the sort of cloth centres with these funky headrests, which I always quite liked. Steering wheel's sort of like a Mark IV Golf steering wheel, I think, just a Seat version. You've got a boost gauge up here, obviously to watch your boost pressure and stuff. You've got white dials in there, very sporty. And anybody that's been in one of these will know this sort of centre console, to my knowledge, can't be changed. So you've got all your, you know, heating, cooling, you know, radio and everything in there. But people do put the radios down here, which is a good idea. But obviously if you're in the car, it's very close to your knees. But that's only, I'm the only person that's ever probably thought of that, only because I've got shorter legs than other people. But anyway, cool funky interior. I do like these. Coming under the bonnet, you see all the AMD stickers. They were the guys that put this engine together, I think. I've seen a lot of receipts and a lot of sort of info about this engine, with the sort of sale of it to Sid, the owner. But it comprises of the KO3S Turbo, same sort of one you get on the Cupra R's, the 225 brake horsepower ones, and the TTs of the same sort of era. It's ported into a KO3 manifold. You've got the Millet exhaust system, you've got a forged dump valve, and an AMD Stage 2 remap. You've also got Cupra internals, Cupra Coilpacks, and Cupra injectors in this one. That's how it's able to run that sort of brake horsepower. I think, you know, what these were always lacking was the Cupra R setup, which is exactly what this is. This is the Cupra R version of the Seat Cupra. which I think is awesome. You know, they should have put this style of engine in it to start with, because the power is so good and the delivery is awesome from it. You've also got this big Jabba Sport front mount intercooler on the front. So I think, yeah, from the one I had when I was 21, this is another world. It really is. It's so much more powerful and it feels so much more well built, really, in comparison to the one I had. This is the one I wish I had when I was 21. This is the one I wish I had bought, because the amount of fun I've had just by driving it for a couple of minutes is ridiculous. It's so much fun. It's unreal. So yeah, I think all in all, very cool, and I wish I had one when I was 21. Love it. Jesus. Oh wow. So overall, what do I think of this car? Well, if I was 21 and I'd have just bought one like I did, I was 21 and I went and bought one of these cars. I bought a Ibiza Cupra, same shape, same reg, everything. If it was running this sort of power, I would have been over the fucking moon. I thought mine was quick. I really did think mine at the time was one of the quickest cars. It was the quickest car I'd ever driven. But this just tops it. It's ridiculous in comparison. Mine looks like a standard bloody car in comparison to this one. It really does. Another thing to notice as well, Sid's previous car was an EK4 1.4, you know, a Civic, and his insurance was the same price as it is for this. So there was no difference in price between a 1.4 with, you know, whatever they are, 90, 100 brake horsepower, maybe a bit more, to a 264 brake horsepower Seat Ibiza, which is insane. I love the fact that you can find gems, you can find powerful old cars that have had all the engine work done to them, thousands dumped into them, buy them for next to nothing. In my opinion, you can buy these for next to nothing with every mod under the sun on them and have ridiculous power, pay as much as a 1.4 is to insure it, and just love life. Just go and boost it everywhere and have a bloody good laugh. So guys, I hope you liked the video. Make sure you like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next video. Cheers guys. Woo!